So if you look at this, this is actually an easier question, in my opinion. Because you don't have any other detail. Don't stress too much about that. Just start with one point and work your way across. And again, leave that part. Do everything else here. Work up, stop. Work up, stop. Finish everything there, and then go to this one. If you see how small it is, there's so much of the detail that you literally you can even freehand it. Okay, just make sure it's straight done. If you look at that, it's so tiny. If they see you got a wall plate, you get a mark. If they can see you putting the band, you got a mark. If they can see the pillar in the middle, you got a mark. Okay, so don't overthink the roof too much. Okay, start by, as I said, for instance, here. Start on the side, work your way across. Because that's lines that you take up from the bottom. Okay, so if you take that up, you already have your layout here. Then start with working down with your foundations. And then from there, work your way up, stop, work your way up, stop, and then you can. Okay. Again, it's 50% of the paper, so you want to spend not really more than an hour, 15, hour, 20 minutes on this. If it's like this, hour will be more than enough to finish it. Okay. Then go to your 2-point perspective. Make sure you get everything there, and then go to question 2. That's, as I say, just my opinion. The reason I say that, if you look at what I give you here, on question 2, as soon as you see this, first thing goes through your mind, what I'm going to see, what I'm not going to see, and then you're confusing yourself. Now you're stressing about a paper or a question that you know it's not my strong point, and you forget about where you can get marks. Okay, that's why I say, just my opinion. Take this one, put it down like that, do all your other questions, that you can focus on them, make sure you get your marks, and then come to this one. Now, remember, what did I give you? Okay. Guys, now you can see what I give you there. You get marks for whatever you add into it. Okay, so it doesn't mean it needs to be 100% correct. It's not like in me and Sir Day, where they look at a drawing, it's not 100% like the memo, you get 0. They can't do that anymore. Okay, we need to look for marks. So just start off. Okay, they give you quite a bit here. Start with that and then do this. They give you the layout here. So start. For every single line that you add there, you get a mark. Okay, so don't try and see this from the start. Don't try and see it. All I want for you to do when you see a drawing like this, number, take your mark, lines up, start drawing the layout. Okay, show what's hidden detail, what's not hidden detail, and then from here start bringing the lines in. Then we can start connecting from the bottom up or from the top down. Okay, because remember as I said, there's a mark, there's a mark, 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 mark. For that little bit of mark, that little bit of mark. There you go. So out of 40, you haven't done this yet. You haven't seen this yet. You don't know what to do there yet. That's fine. Okay. Don't stress about this line. Do not, please, please, please. I don't know why I've done it. It shouldn't be. I don't know why I've done it. It should be a straight line. What I say here, and if you look over the last, I think 3 years, they don't want you to do the whole development. There's also not enough space. And what I help you with here, they want you to take it across. So that helps quite a bit. Okay. Instead of measuring here and draw it somewhere else, that's usually where the confusion comes in. If you take it across, just by putting in your straight line there, it will show you point P, so you have to develop that part and that part over here. So for doing a straight line there will be a mark. For putting in the center line, another mark, another mark. For getting the height correct, you're taking it across. That's a mark. For measuring the true length that you get from here, mark it off, that's another mark. So you can get, without really understanding what you're looking at, 50% for this question. Okay, but I promise you, if you start with this one, you're going to mess up your whole brain and you're going to struggle with the other ones. You know you're going to get good marks. So that's just my opinion. If you're strong with this one, go for it. Okay, if you want to do question 1, go straight to this one, 100%, it's not wrong. But if you know this is the one that you struggle with, leave it. Don't even look at it. Because I've picked it up over the years. How many times when learners said to me, they were fine with the 2 point, fine with the other one, but they struggle on this one, they didn't finish the paper. Okay, rather lose your time on this and don't finish, than losing your marks on a joint that you actually could have done.
So what are the options for question 2?
Question 2 could either be a solid, interpenetration, development, or transition piece. But the transition piece, I can't remember when last I asked it. And for the last 2 years, it's been taken out of the government syllabus. They don't even teach it anymore. So it's difficult. It's quite difficult. It's more difficult than the development. Yeah. So my opinion is we're slowly going to move to solid, but we can't say. The reason I say that is solid, they didn't teach that for the last 3-4 years in the syllabus. They left it out because they never asked the solids. But 2 years back with the conference that we have with the IAB, they said to us, start teaching it because we know a lot of teachers don't teach it. We want to slowly phase it back into the syllabus. So my feeling is between a solid and a development. That's my opinion.
And then definitely 2 points.
2 point definitely. Okay, definitely. Okay, now with the 2 point, if it does happen, guys, and I know you guys are stressed with exams, and it does happen that you hit a blank, and then you start looking at this drawing, and you're looking, and it doesn't, the lights don't go off. Okay, don't go into a panic. If you go to this drawing, and suddenly you hit a blank, you have no idea what to do next time. Just remember, start off by getting my vanishing points. Okay, you can see there with the vanishing points already 2 marks out of the 40, just by getting your vanishing points. Okay, remember, you go from standing position on the same angle that I give us here. It can either be 30, 60 or 45, 45. That's all. Only those 2. Okay, so the 30 can be on the one side, and the 60 is the other side. Or 30 on this side, 60 on the other side, or 45, 45. Now, what you do is all you do is
do like a 60.
no, that won't do. Okay, they will always, like in this case, you're going to take your set square measure. I can see that's my 60. All I'm going to do is go to my standing position, go up all the way to the picture plane, then bring it down. Now, I haven't seen it for a while, but if they do, put the horizontal line on top of the picture plane. So instead of having 2 lines, you have 1. That's not the end of the world. All you do is you take it all the way to there, and you leave it. Okay.
Sometimes in our book we have like one square down. Horizon line is even below.
Yes. They can.
So if it's above, do you take it to the picture plane and then take it up to the horizontal?
Okay, always like that. You take it to the picture plane and then straight up or straight down. Keep the root. Okay. But the reason I say that is they can. I think it's in my grade 11, 2 years back in the grade 11 Eastern Cape exam. They did that, and all those learners bombed out. Because they said there's no horizontal line. Where now? There's a horizontal line.
So if it's just speaking, then you also assume.
If you don't see the horizontal line anywhere, then you stop there and you work from there. Okay. On the picture plane.
And the SP be above the.
Okay. The SP can be here. Anyway, you work exactly the same. Okay. Don't remember the SP is only to get whatever is not touching to the picture plane. So if the SP is somewhere around here, all you do is you connect, and then take it down. And you're done with the status. Okay. They can drop it lower, they can put it on the ground level, or they can shift it up. Those of you that I helped with the pads, remember I put almost all of yours I put above. The only reason we do that is just to get it into the drawing. If it's too low down, then it doesn't fit on the page. Okay, so what I'll do is, if it's quite a big joint, they'll move that up to just bring the line into the page. Okay, but all I want you to remember, if it happens that on Wednesday the horizontal line and the picture plane is the same, don't stress out, it's fine. So you take it up to there, you label it. Okay, you get half a mark for writing here LVP, half a mark for writing RVP. Okay, so please remember that. Again, what I'm saying to you now is just how can I get 1 mark, 1 mark, 1 mark, 1 mark. Okay, if you know what you're doing, just go. but label that straight away. We still, every year, in the beginning of the year, we have a meeting on the year's paper. And still 80% of learners forget to write that. That's a whole mark if you lose it. Okay. So after you've done that, then you just stop. We take everything that's not touching to my picture plate. But don't worry about the circle or half circle. Leave that till last. Leave it till last. Don't do that. The reason I say, if you start dividing this thing, you take those lines down and you start bringing, you have so many lines you don't know which one to follow. Okay, so what you do the roof first. It's always, especially when it's an overhead. If you do the roof first, some of the lines of the walls coming up is going to be covered with the roof. Okay, if you do the walls first, it's not wrong, but you might have to erase the others. Okay, yes. Then, if you make a mistake, for instance, you've labeled your vanishing points on the picture plate, and you realize it when you're almost done, please don't erase. Okay, you're not going to have time to redo the drawing. All you do then is go on. You're going to get penalized with a couple of marks. Say, for instance, like a question like this, if you've done pretty much the whole thing correct, but you had your vanishing points here, you're going to lose 5 to 8 marks. You're still going to get a read. Okay. The only reason I say that is, again, I've had learners over the years that picked up the made mistake and they erase the whole thing and start over. You're not going to finish.
But like, sure, if you figure it out early on.
If you figure it out early on, don't fix it. But again, please don't erase the whole drawing. Okay. First, then go on with the other drawings and come back to that one if you need to, but don't erase the whole thing. Then remember with the roofs, the extender, bring it down to the height of the same roof that you worked with, and then go to my vanishing point. Yes. Okay. So if you do the roof, it just makes your life a little bit easier because then you have to correct height. If you then connect your walls up, you just go up to your roof. Okay, that makes your life a little bit easier. What else are we looking at here?
Will the roof always be like one line? No, I hate when there's one line. It's so annoying.
Yeah, you'll see. Most of the times it will be, because they don't give you thickness, so it will be one line. You see, yeah, that's what it means. It's one line and one line. Yeah, they don't do work with thickness, so don't trust it does. Okay. Then
So I think I've got 3 memos. No, keep one for the memos. And then like I have a question. That's it. And then it's not
you need one to draw.
This is what it's going to look like on the 26th of November. We're going to be here. We're going to find out.
Okay. Then, guys, we're playing analytical. Okay. If it's again multiple choice, try and get through it as quickly as you can. Okay. Don't spend more than 10 minutes on it. Try and get it done in less than 10. Okay. There's small little things that we just need to look at. That little booklet that we gave you guys in the beginning of the year. If you go through that one, we'll give you some more memos on this. And you just read through it, you will be fine. Okay.
What's the chance of getting another book?
Right?
Getting another book?
I will load one now and I'll print something. I did print the other, I'll quickly print it. Okay. So guys, just small things that we don't always look at. If you look at the little corners, where they give you that in a little block, they give you a number. That number, you'll see, yes, that's the height above sea level. But that specific number is given in meters. Okay, I'm saying that because I like to ask that. Okay, everything on the page is in millimeters. We know that. Everything we do is in millimeters. Okay, they will sometimes ask you, what units are we working in? Just be careful. What do they want? Well, they sometimes ask, what units are on this page? Millimeters. Okay, everything that's on this page is given in millimeters. And then the corner heights, the ones in that little block. Remember, that's the height above sea level, but that's in meters. Okay, they try to catch you out, because everything on here is in millimeters, but those ones are always in meters. Okay, so just remember that. I think they asked it in here.
It's the first question.
Oh, is it the first one? Okay, so that's meters. Then, remember the contour lines that we have here, and then when you read a question, just make sure what do they ask. Okay, is it the existing that we're looking at? Is it the proposed that we're looking at? The reason I say that is when they give you a building and they ask, for instance, the inspection eyes, are they asking all the inspection eyes on the whole page? Or are they looking for the existing building? Or are they talking of the new development? Okay, because they like to throw that in and then you count all of them and they only wanted the new development. Okay, remember anything on this page with dotted lines is something that's going to be removed. Okay, if it's a circle, it's a tree that will be removed or demolished. Both of them will be correct, depends on how they ask it. But if the building, for instance, say for instance that garage that I showed you was done around, the outside lines were done with hidden detail lines, that means it's going to be demolished. Okay, that's small things that I like to throw in there, so just be careful. And then remember the center lines that we see on here. The center lines, we get two types on here. We get the sewage line, that's a center line, and then the building line is also a center line. How do we know the difference between the two? Yes, one is always a little bit thicker, but if you can't see it on the page, the one got the manhole and the IE on it and the RE, that's my sewage line.
Yes.
The other one will have the BL on it, the building line. Okay. So just that's how you get the difference between the two. Then, there's a question here where you have to calculate. Okay. Question 1.11. What is the perimeter in meters of the dwelling 25A after post extension has been done? Hello? Okay. All I want to show you there is, if we look at the existing building and the proposed building here, they don't give you any measurements on the drawing itself. Have a look here. Okay, just a quick one. If you don't see the measurements on the drawing itself, just have a look. Somewhere on the page, they'll give you information with, in this case you can see AB, there's the length, BC, and you go around. Okay, so they give you, instead of doing it on the drawing itself, they give it to you in the information block. Sometimes they give it on the drawing, sometimes if you don't see it yet, just have a look, it will be in a little block. And that's what you're going to need to work out the perimeter and then the area of this question. Okay, when we do the calculations, first calculate it back to meters. Okay, the only reason I say that, if you look at these ones, 17,700. If you, especially with the area, if you start timing all of these big numbers with, and you divide the end with 1,000, it doesn't work out. You guys with the maths will know that. But it's easier to work with smaller numbers. So first, divide it by 1,000, get the answer, and that will be your final answer. Okay, you will see on the memo that I gave you, that's how they do it there. So many times you pick up the dinner's done, all the calculations correct, but the answer is wrong. Because they take the answer and they divide it by 1,000. Okay, that's wrong. You have to the power of 2. Yeah. Okay, so please first divide it to meters by 1,000 and then do your calculations. Okay, then this answer, the wanted in meters, and you will see with the perimeter answer, it's also in meters. So you have to write the answer meters or meters squared. Yeah, small m with the square top. Okay, it's area. Otherwise you lose a whole mark. What else is important on this one? You will see there's some questions here. Where's that new dwelling based? It's in the information here. What's the website of the company? It's all given here. So that's easy ones that you need to make sure that you get correct. Analytical wells. What I like to do is here is to ask you to draw the floor plan view and then the section view or the elevation view. Okay, just make sure, and I almost want to say it's 100% it's going to be freehand drawing. Don't do it with a ruler if they say freehand, otherwise you lose the whole one. They should. If you see that question 1.18 that say need freehand drawing, please don't do it with a ruler if they ask you to do it freehand. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you.